Beyonce thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp,
Okay.
and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay,
Okay.
about regarding saying Ramir needs to go away, little boy, something to that effect. It was something out there.
Yeah,
But
that's why I
people were
said we.
saying that she's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not, she would have some sort of role in
Right.
what her husband does. And
Right.
if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it,
Right.
she would help her husband handle it.
Y'all, something strange is going on in the Carter household. Beyonce is reportedly panicking because some DNA results may have just confirmed a huge secret. JayZ might have a son no one knew about. This isn't just an online rumor. A man named Ramir Satterthwaite has been saying for years that JayZ is his real father, and now the courts have finally forced JayZ to take a DNA test. And guess what? The results are shaking the internet. JayZ has been avoiding this situation for years. Every time Ramir or his legal team tried to get a DNA test, JayZ's lawyers found ways to dodge it. But now, that's no longer possible. And why didn't Jay just take the test earlier if he had nothing to hide? Well, insiders say the real reason was Beyonce. Apparently, she didn't want this to go public. With everything they've built, the image, the brand, the empire, news of a secret child could ruin everything. But here's where it gets even messier. Ramir's mom, Wanda, was allegedly only 16 years old when she met JayZ, who was around 22 at the time. They hooked up, and Wanda ended up pregnant. But she never had JayZ's contact info, so she couldn't reach him. Later, Wanda got into a relationship with another man named Robert, who knew the baby wasn't his but still signed the birth certificate, supposedly just to get government benefits. Ramir says his mom told him the truth when he was 8 years old, that JayZ was his real dad. Sadly, Wanda passed away, but before she died, she left a sworn statement saying JayZ was Ramir's father. Still, JayZ stayed silent, and Ramir kept fighting, even going to court with the help of his guardian Lily Coley. In 2014, they sued JayZ, accusing him of using his power to block the case, lie to the courts, and avoid the test. Even worse, they say JayZ's lawyers worked behind the scenes with Ramir's own lawyers to kill the case. The Philadelphia court ended up throwing the case out because of these legal mistakes. And what about Beyonce? Word is, she's been the one stopping Jay from dealing with this situation. Insiders claim that when she found out Wanda was underage at the time, she shut it all down immediately. She didn't want that drama anywhere near their family, especially after the cheating rumors, the elevator fight, and her father's own scandal with secret kids. But now, the DNA test is finally happening, and it could change everything. Ramir isn't asking for money. In fact, he works 2 jobs and takes care of himself. All he ever wanted was to know the truth. He says, "This isn't about fame or money. I just wanted to know who my father is." And even though JayZ and Beyonce seem to throw shade at Ramir and their music, Ramir hasn't backed down. In fact, he recently spoke out in a new interview and revealed that he and his guardian have been receiving threats, allegedly from people close to Beyonce, telling him to go away. They believe Beyonce has been the main force stopping JayZ from taking the DNA test all these years. But now, with the judge forcing the test, the truth might finally come out. So the big question is, will the DNA prove JayZ is the father? And if it does, what will that mean for the Carter empire?
But
that's why I
people were
said we.
saying that she's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not, she would have some sort of role in
Right.
what her husband does. And
Right.
if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it,
Right.
she would help her husband.
But if this is all true, it flips the whole story. Most people thought JayZ was the one hiding the truth, but now it looks like Beyonce might have been the one pulling the strings all along, and that changes everything. Now that Ramir is finally being taken seriously by the courts, he's ready to go all the way, no matter who tries to silence him. The gloves are off, the DNA test is happening. JayZ can't stay silent anymore. And Beyonce, she might be running out of time too. All the secrets, the blocking, the threats, they're catching up fast. Because if this DNA test proves that Ramir is telling the truth, the entire Carter empire, the brand, the power couple image, the billions, could crumble overnight. So now the big question is, what if Ramir was right all along? Will Beyoncé leave JayZ? Will JayZ finally admit the truth? Or will they both try to bury a scandal that's already halfway exposed? Whatever happens next, one thing's clear: this story is far from over.